right. We should be up and running here. Both streams should be live. So let's go ahead and get started. Good afternoon. This is Ifan from the Strategic Day Trader, and this is your market wrap for May 10th, 2021. Q's down 2.5%. SPY down just shy of 1%. SPY was gapping up this morning. Q's were gapping down. Okay. So coming into today, neutral on the Qs, but was bullish on the SPY. Okay, we talked about how the SPY was breaking out. And for the Qs, what we wanted to see was it spend more time above this 333.20. Right? We had this outlined last week. If the SPY took this out, which it did by, I think it was, Thursday? Or Thursday afternoon was already gone. And then the Qs did it on Friday. And then I said, if the SPY spends more time up here, we're going to be more bullish. Okay. But the Qs hadn't done it yet. So this morning, if you traded with me at the open, I was neutral on the Qs, and then SPY was still bullish. Okay. SPY was bullish. Now, what did we get as the day went on, and especially into the afternoon? SPY got sold. Qs could not stay in the area that we talked about. Plus, we had the gap down right back into this congestion area. Okay. Now, the good thing was, or maybe the fortunate thing, I don't think it's not necessarily like a coincidence, but we didn't have really good gap ups today. So everything we were looking at was short. So that kind of worked out in our favor, that the best gap downs were lower. And then with a market like this, they're going to get the best follow through. So we'll go through those. Okay. Now, first we got to talk about what to expect for tomorrow for the Qs and SPY. I'm expecting a rally, okay? But I'm expecting the rally to be short-lived, to produce a lower high. Okay, that's what I'm looking for. That's what I want to see. Why? Because you can see here, like let's say we look at this range here. And this is pretty typical when you have a flat 20 MA, which I know is kind of hard to see here now once I highlight it. But this 20 MA is kind of flattened out. We spent time below, above, below. Now we're extended away from a relatively flat 20 MA again. So I'm expecting us tomorrow to get a bit of a rally, produce a lower high. And if we get that lower high, that's where the bearish bias starts. Okay, moving forward. If we gap down tomorrow, I think we will get bought initially. If we gap up tomorrow, that would serve the same purpose as the bounce that I'm looking for, right? So, it's not like a dead cat bounce or, that term, because the Qs aren't in a long-term downtrend and then, just doing a short squeeze or, having kind of people try to pick the bottom on this. This is potentially the start of an hourly downtrend. But why I think the hourly downtrend is not ready to just produce lower lows yet is that we are extended away from those 20 MA. Okay, so we're trying to break this range here. And the manner in which we did it is kind of a straight shot down. There's a little bit of consolidation here, but I think it's not enough. Okay, so that's what I'll be looking for tomorrow. Okay, if we get a gap down, we'll probably get bought at the open. If we gap up, maybe we hang around and then eventually get sold, and then that'll create our lower high. Okay, if we open up flat, maybe we poke lower first, but then eventually I think we'll see some kind of rally. Okay, in the Qs. SPY, I'm expecting the same thing because the SPY is back into this support area after making a new high. So I'm looking to see what kind of support. You can see on the daily too, right? It's back into support. I want to see that support kick in. Okay, and if that support kicks in and it's a pretty weak move and it produces a lower high, then I'll be bearish going into the rest of the week. Okay, once we get that. All right, so that's the plan on the market for tomorrow. Neutral for now. We'll see if we get that counter rally first, see what the quality of that counter rally is, and then we can move forward from there. Okay. All right, let's get into today's plays. Like I said, there weren't really any good longs. The VTRS, if you were with me this morning, said this could go either way. I don't really expect too much from it, but it was the only long that actually gave a setup. I said it's okay. You can play right here, but I'm going to let it go. So this one I did let it go because I didn't like the gap enough. Okay. Then the next two plays kind of came up at the same time. Was the DVAX here right after 10 o'clock breakdown. This one, I let this one go because I felt like I had already missed too much of the move. Okay. So that was, I think, under 862 or under 863 or 864. So then, because I've written down 862 as what should have been the entry. So that was, you can see already a decent sized red bar here into a little bit of this pivot here. That was another reason for passing. Really, really worked. Like this was, I don't know how many max R's this had. Okay, by the end of the day here. Okay, and just nice downtrend all the way through. So there you go, 778. That was only about a 14-cent stop and went 85 cents. So so there you go. Yeah, 6 R's or so. Okay. On the DVAX, that was the best. Then MGNI came up. I think this was an additional gap. I did play this. Okay, what I liked about this, what's nice about this, is that it had already cleared this to the left here, and we were breaking down. Okay, on this. MGNI was a decent size stop. It was like 80 cents on the MGNI. So it was right here, this base breakdown here. Okay, so this one a little bit, you can see similar, very similar to the DVAX, right? MGNI, here's the DVAX, here's the MGNI. Both are good gaps. I went with this one because it already cleared, had a lot of room on the daily. Okay, so that's why I wanted to play it. Yeah, hasn't been in this, there's a little pivot here, hasn't been here in 4 months. So so that ended up being the play. I know quite a few of you took it with me on the MGNI. Was about up 1 arm once it broke $30, and then was okay to hold all day. Now I did take this one early. I was not in this until end of day because when the market was coming in, we had this move right here. And I said I'm going to go ahead and take the whole thing here on this MGNI because the trail was just way far up there. The trail was still up here, so. It was already approaching like 2.5 Rs on the back half, and the trail was quite a ways away, so it did take it. You can see here, it did close at the low of the day. Hourly never got taken out, so this was okay to hold till end of day, and it's basically at the lows there. So that was okay to do. And then the INSM, which Sammy gave you numbers on, the INSM. As a very similar here. Let's go to the 5 again right here. INSM. Okay, right there. Okay, so you can see we had and here's the gap. Isn't that great? Gapping underneath that pivot there, wide range green bar. Okay, so definitely some congestion there to the left, but market helped with this nice gap. So see a lot of the same kind of stuff, you know, today on the gaps, and just consistent with what we've been getting last week as well. All right, so you know, hopefully if you've been following along, the plays are there. Right now, there are times where I'll let you know if I feel like you got to take it easy. You only do the best of the best. Don't settle on quality at all. But lately, and that's what I said a couple weeks ago as well, earnings season's picking up. But also, I'm just seeing the follow through. It could be earnings season and the follow through is not there. But lately, aggressiveness, I think, has paid off, and that more plays to do, more setups are there, more good gaps. That's all to be expected, right? Now, we've had earnings season in the past that aren't as good, that the gaps aren't as good, there isn't much follow through, market's not moving. But this one, I think, has been pretty decent. Okay, so hopefully you're doing well. Hopefully you did well today. We'll be back at it tomorrow. Okay, very interesting to see, has the market kind of put in this top? Is it ready to transition back lower? I would like to see just another counter rally first, okay, before starting the bearish bias. Okay, just because I think we've had like a little bit of an extended move down after this kind of sloppy base. Okay, all right, guys. We'll be back at it tomorrow, and I will talk to you then. Have a good evening.